So if we've got 10 people watching this video, I can guarantee that half of you have got a learning style that would prefer that from the start to the finish, absolutely every stage of the research process is explained from start to finish. You want to know all the theory, and the theory's got to be in order. Some of you will be thinking, I don't want to be told just the theory. I want to be told what to do. So we have different learning styles, and because this is an electronic course, some of these lessons are going to be logical, teaching different points in theory, and some of these lessons are going to be approaching this topic from another direction. And so this is part of a series of lectures which are based on Dawson's 2016 activities for teaching research methods. And so this particular activity number 20, is exploring the topic of choosing research methods. And so let's begin to do this together. So we've looked at a number of issues about getting clear about our aims and objectives, about stating research questions. And research questions and research methods, they really go together, because if I've got a particular interest in a specific issue, phenomenon, that's my question, those are my wider objectives and aims, a question like this will lead to needing to do research in a particular way with a particular methodology. So let's work through examples below and answer the following questions for each example. So what data, so you've done your research, you've done your work on your research objectives, on your research aims. You've formulated your research question. You've been clear about what you are aiming to do. You've got lots of verbs in these. Are you going to analyse, describe, for example? But what methods will you use to collect the data that will allow you to answer your research questions? What data collections will you use? In terms of sampling, you have an enormous population and you can't collect data on all of this population. So you need to decide what parts of this population you will take samples from. It may be qualitative or quantitative. What sampling methods will you use? If you've got a population that is religiously diverse, you've got different genders, you've got different languages, you've got different ethnicities, what sampling methods will you use? What recording methods will you use? Will you be writing things out in notes? Will you take audio, video? Will you use research assistants? What recording methods will you use? How will you store the data that you have collected? This is really important. You have no idea how many people have lost important data because they have not stored it in the right place and they haven't stored it in enough places. How would you analyse the data you have collected? What programs will you use, for example? Okay, so let's consider the following. Is the research exploratory, descriptive or causal? And match these with the methods. Now, most ethnographic research is descriptive and exploratory, mostly descriptive. Are you aiming to generate theory or test theory? Again, most ethnographic research projects primarily are descriptive, they're naturalistic, they are qualitative, and they aim to generate theory. Are the chosen methods appropriate to the methodology? And remember that in qualitative research, it is often the case that it's difficult to state the methods at the beginning of the process. You go into the field, you begin to get rapport with people, and you realise that you need to collect data in a different way, and there is the opportunity to collect very interesting data with methods that you have never used before. So these are just some very helpful questions to be asking and answering when we're talking about choosing research methods. So let's go on to the next activity from Dawson.